This is Seawolves. Storm or not.
Good Monday, I'm Maddie Lee, and welcome to the 5th installment of Seawolves, Storm or Not. This broadcast is a co-production of students at the Stony Brook School of Communications and Journalism and their brothers and sisters at the School of Marine and Atmospheric Sciences. Walking from West Apartments on campus this morning, I was pleasantly surprised at how the summer heat has been holding up, even though the calendar says we're in fall. Still a nice day out, and Julia TETRAULT, our weathercaster, drew the lucky straw and gets to start reporting outside. Julia?
Thanks, Maddie. We've got another beautiful day here at Stony Brook with our first full week of fall. Today we have sunny skies with a high of 77 and a low of 62 degrees, with the west wind about 10 miles per hour. Behind me you can see our leaves are still green. And what gives? I want multicolored leaves. Unfortunately, we might have to wait until October 25th because that's when our peak is for our local area. But don't fret, our fall pictures will still be beautiful coming our fall break because we should see a couple of leaf changes. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Julia. This is officially the first full week of fall, and it's almost the end of September. That means that scary word, the M word, midterms, is on everyone's lips. But perhaps something more spooky is haunting Stony Brook. We sent out our Reptile Busters investigative team of Raymond Wilson and Justin MITSELMAKHER to report.
With Halloween only a month away, Stony Brook students should beware of a hidden monster lurking within our campus. Roth Pond is a hub of activity at Stony Brook University. Species of fish, turtles, and birds call the pond their home. But in recent years, the excess growth of cyanobacteria, also known as blue-green algae, have turned its waters into a hazard zone. Conditions such as warm, still, nutrient-rich water create excess blooms that become potentially toxic. As climate change increases summer temperatures and animal feces frequently end up in the water, blue-green algae has the food it needs to take over Roth Pond, resulting in a streaky, paint-like appearance on the surface. The facts tell us to stay away from blue-green algae at all costs, yet Roth Pond hosts the annual Roth Pond Regatta in the spring, where students race handmade cardboard boats. While fountains were installed to add air and movement to the pond, it isn't enough to keep the algae away. The CDC says ingestion or skin exposure to blue-green algae may cause irritation and illness to animals and humans alike. Immediately rinse with clean water if contact occurs. With the fall season in full swing, let's hope the cooler weather destroys what's left of the toxic algae, so that by spring, our students can resume the epic feat that is conquering these waters for Roth Regatta. Reporting from Roth Pond, I'm Justin MITSELMAKHER. Back to you guys in the studio.
Let's hope those turtles are the only reptiles on campus. Thanks to Ray and Justin, I'm not so apprehensive about Roth Pond, but I wouldn't want to get thrown in. Now I'm just weary, but something that could be scary could be looming. This being the fall of 2021, we need to watch out for hurricanes, of course. To find out more, we turn to our hurricane team, today represented by our marvelous Marlon Quinteros.
Thanks, Maddie. Well, hurricanes have been the biggest talk throughout the summer for us meteorologists, especially this fall. And a whole list of names for this year's hurricane season in the Atlantic. We have 19 named storms so far, and the latest one is Teresa. However, Teresa is not a named storm anymore because it petered out. Now, Sam is the only active storm and named storm in the Atlantic. Besides Sam, there are 3 areas of interest to keep an eye on. One is near Bermuda, which has the orange X and the areas of shaded orange, and 2 areas of interest shaded in red have a likelihood of being named Victor and Wanda. For Sam will be projected to move from the Windward Islands all the way to Bermuda for Saturday. Back to you, Maddie.
Hey Marlon, let me get this straight. So I'm planning on spending the weekend in the city. I don't have to cancel my reservations?
Well, based on the track of Sam and the big dip in the trough of the jet stream, located over New England, well, there won't be SAM moving towards our area, so which means that it will be moving either away to sea or get close enough to the Canadian Maritimes to cause some trouble. In your case, you don't have to cancel your reservations and enjoy your date.
Great. Well, I know how much you love your dessert, so if I go anywhere good, I'll be sure to bring something back for you.
Thank you.
Marlon's told us what we don't have to worry about for the weekend, but for the details of the 7 days ahead of us, let's go to my friend Julia TETRAULT at the weatherboard. Julia?
Thanks, Maddie. This week is beautiful with the dominant feature being high pressure, creating sunny days. But with it being fall, temperatures are starting to get colder, so better break out some of those fall jackets. Today is beautiful, but Tuesday, there's a cold front passing through the area, bringing some likely showers and possible thunderstorms in the evening. The rest of the weekend and week will be mostly sunny with highs in the upper 60s and lows in the mid 50s. This is the perfect weather for you to plan your apple and pumpkin picking for the season. Back to you, Maddie.
Thanks, Julia. One thing we haven't talked about on the island is the memorial of a local girl, Gabby Petito. This beautiful 22-year-old woman from the South Shore became a national sensation when she went missing during a cross-country road trip with her boyfriend. Unfortunately, police found her body last week. When this case first popped up in the news, I couldn't help but think, what if it was me? Or anyone else who identifies as a woman of color? Too many cases of missing and marginalized women slip under the radar. Their cases lack the resources and attention the nation has given to Miss Petito in order to bring her home. What happened to Gabby was a tragedy, and her story deserves to be heard. But her case should also serve as a reminder that all of our sisters deserve to be brought home. That's all we have for you today on Seawolves Storm or Not. I'm Maddie Lee, and we'll see you next week.